Should you own a house, and is your house an asset? Hey, welcome back to another where I try to break down finances from my book, You Don't Have to Die Broke, and try to explain it super simple. As always, the book is free. Just DM me. I'd be happy to send you a copy. I'm going to try to make a case for today on why, yes, your house is an asset, and yes, you should own a house, and that I believe you've been led astray by some of our best friends in the financial community. Many financial gurus will say, no, you should not own a house. Also say a house is a liability. Now, the reason they'll say a house is a liability is you have to pay to maintain it. Well, last time I checked, you have to pay to maintain everything, even your body. You have to go to the dentist, you have to go to the gym, you have to fix your car. I don't know anything in life that you don't have to maintain. So I don't know how that factors into the situation, but it does. Two of my favorite people in the world, Robert Kiyosaki, Grant Cardone, both teach this. I call BS, and here's why. I'm going to state my case in 6 points. Point number 1, simply Google the median home price when you were born. I did. It was $23,000. Today, where I live, it's about $250,000. I don't know about you. That sounds a lot like 10x. Number 2, the financing is the lowest that you can get on a financial instrument in the world. Financing on a personal home and asset, why would the bank loan it to you at such a low rate? Because they know the loan's guaranteed. You're going to stay in the house. You're going to do your best to try to keep the house because your house is your base of operation. I run my entire operation out of my house, out of my compound, not out of an apartment. Why? Because my rent is fixed. I paid this house off 20 years ago, and if I was renting, my rent would continue to go up, right? So the financing is the lowest you can get, 3 to 4%. Because you can stretch it over 30 years, it allows any family, any low-income families as well, can get into an asset called a house and have a safe place for their family. It's lower than any loan you can get for a business. It's lower than any loan you can get on an investment property. I typically pay 5 to 7% on rental properties for loans. Reason number 3, and this is the most important, and if I was in my 20s and 30s and I had a spouse and they were down for getting rich and we were committed to this process and we had some money, I would bang the hell out of number 3. Every 2.5 years, you can sell your house completely tax-free. You understand that means I paid $60,000 for my house. Today it's valued at $350,000. If I sell it, they're going to give me a check for $350,000. I pay 0 tax. I could then take the $350,000 and roll it up into a $500,000 house that's all beat up. Take my abilities to fix it up, sweat equity, repair it over the next 2 years, and then roll that up. And you could just keep rolling it up. And at the very end, get yourself $1 million. It's a little windy out here. So if you're in your 20s and 30s, make a decent income, I would really dig into that one. Number 4, you're going to pay rent anyway. Now, if you live in San Diego, Seattle, New York, you live on a different planet. And if you live in the state of California, the entire state is designed to take your money. So I don't know what to tell you. Reason number 5, houses appreciate 4 to 8% a year. But your loan is fixed at today's prices. So think about that. Your loan is fixed at today's prices. Well, guess what? Rent appreciates as well. So here's what happens. Your loan gets paid down. The property appreciates. You keep the middle. You hear me talk a lot about the margin. The margin. You need to get your income up, your cost down so that you can keep the margin. In finance, it's all about the margin. So as the house appreciates, the loan gets paid down. The middle's what makes you rich. Your rent will only go up. I raise the rent on my renters every 6 months. The rent goes up, 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 up. But guess what my loan does? Stays the same. It's called financial knowledge. Number 6, if you get into a bind, if your spouse dies, when the kids move out, when grandpa dies, or you just simply want to start over in life, you can sell this asset to someone else and cash in. You can get a big lump sum. That's my plan. I'm going to sell my place and I'm going to buy a beach on the condo on the beach. And I'm going to use these tax-free profits from this so-called liability that I've owned all these years, where I've run my business out of. And that's going to fund it. That would be an option, right? Most of the time when people die, their most valuable asset happens to be the house. That's what they leave their family. It is an investment. It appreciates in price. The loan pays down. The asset, when it's sold, is tax-free. I don't know there's no other definition of an asset. So here's another beautiful thing. In the state of Texas, your home is exempt from lawsuits. So if you have a $400,000 home, end up in a lawsuit, you don't have to pay it. Or you get to keep your house, I mean. So there again, that's a way to store money, protect it from lawsuits if you're a guy that has a lot of money. Oh, get this. You could keep your house if you want to move and rent it out. So when you go to leave, you could take on a loan, take out some of the money of your house, rent out to other people, and produce a rental property and take the new money and go buy another house. So these are my 6 reasons why I think a house is an obvious asset, and that the idea that a house is a liability is complete BS.